Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro every day, and today we're running it back. We've won gold stake on every deck, both before and after the 101 patch. We've won with every joker. We even got 16 in a row. We even won jokerless gold stake. But when I look on Steam, it says only 7% of players have won gold stake at all. And so I want to try to fix that. I want to try to help. We're going to go back to the beginning. We're going to play gold stake on the starter deck here. I'm going to explain what I'm thinking, and you're going to try not to learn anything. All right, here we've got, for the first round here, starting at the red stake and higher, small blinds give no reward money, and so that's this, big blinds give us $4, boss blinds give us $5, and then the small blind normally $3 reward money. You still get money from interest, you still get money from leftover hands, so you still get something. Also, every round that you play, you get to see the shop, and seeing the shop has value, right? Like you buy a buffoon pack costs you $4, and you get to see 2 jokers, and so that's kind of like the same as seeing the shop. If you go into the shop, you get to see 2 jokers. That's like a couple dollars worth of value just being able to see the options. Also with the booster packs, being able to see more booster packs has value. So generally I suggest you shouldn't be skipping. Most of the time you don't want to be skipping. Seeing more shops, seeing more jokers is the way that you actually get the stuff that you need, get the materials that you need. Do I want something like this? So instead of having 2 shops, instead of playing small blind, big blind, 2 shops, if I skip one of those shops, I can guarantee that I have a rare joker rather than like a bunch of common jokers that I might not want. Is it worth it for the rare joker to skip a shop and also skip like a couple bucks? Just a couple bucks. Also, the rare joker will be free. I think, when we're playing on the higher stakes, now that we have eternal jokers, 1 in 3 chance for a joker to be eternal, 1 in 3 chance for a joker to be perishable. Those are non-overlapping. You can't be both perishable and eternal. 1 in 3 chance for a joker to be rental. That one is overlapping with perishables and eternal, so you can have rental eternals, you can have rental perishables. All of those things together, pretty high chance that you're going to get a joker that has one of these, I call these stickers, rental sticker, perishable sticker. Very hard for you to find a blank joker, a non-sticker joker. And so when you take these skip tags, whether it's a rare tag, uncommon tag, holographic, polychrome, negative tag, very high chance that you're going to get a sticker joker. Is it going to be okay if it's a rare joker? Like if I skip the first round here, if I get a perishable rare, how would I feel about it? If I get a rental rare, how would I feel about it? I think because it's free, I think it's worth it. Because it's free, I think it's worth it. I think it's very risky, but I think the expected value is good enough, so I'm going to take it. Now, do I want to skip for $10 here? I think here I don't want the $10, because if I skip here, I'm going to need to beat this boss 600 points. I'm going to need 2 300-point hands. And so early on, without any jokers, it's kind of hard. It's not impossible, but it's kind of hard to get 300 points in one hand. And so 2 300-point hands could be kind of difficult. Maybe I play 250, 280-point hands. Maybe I play 2.5 hands in order to beat this boss. So I don't think I'm going to take the speed tag here. I'm just going to play out this round here. Also, we get $4 plus, maybe $2 or $3 reward money. So to get 450, I also need 2 hands, but they don't need to be good hands. I can play a low straight, and then I can follow it up with a low flush. Maybe I'll do this with the spades and then try to go for a hearts flush. Sometimes, 2 pair can be good enough. Here I can play a full house. What kind of rare do we get? We get no stickers, it's non-perishable, it's non-eternal here. This is great. This is huge. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do flushes, ×2 for flushes. If I have this, I probably don't need this buffoon pack. So I'm just going to go next here. Buffoon pack again here, the jokers have a good chance of being, these eternals, rentals, stuff like that. So I'm just going to take my money and collect interest and go next. All right, here in order to score 600 points, I can do a flush, but it needs to be like a good-ish flush. And so I could go for the diamonds flush here. I'm actually going to throw away the 3 of diamonds because the 3 of diamonds is not very high. If I do want to win in one hand, not that I have to, but if I do want to try to win in one hand, then I'm going to need higher diamonds. And because I'm playing on the red deck specifically, because I know I have the extra discard, I think we can get it. Or we just get it in one. I'm not going to complain about that. Okay, do I want perishable rental drunkard? I think the answer is no. Do I want this Arcana pack? Arcana pack is not typically going to give us a lot of extra scoring. There are some cards that give us card enhancements that, you know, could give us a little bit of extra scoring, but it's not typically going to give us extra scoring. So I think I'm going to keep saving my money for interest. Generally, that's what I suggest. You know, try to save until you have $25 in the bank, though there are some limitations with that, right? You need to spend enough so that you survive, and having, you know, this just ×2 for flushes. In the late game, this is going to be very, very powerful, but like early on, this is not really what this is doing. You know, if I play a flush, my 4 molt becomes 8 molt. This is doing the exact same that Jimbo does. Jimbo just gives you +4. This is a +4, which right now is not very good. And so, you know, something to consider in the previous shop, even though this counts as ×2, I said it's the same as Jimbo, so it's the same as basically having nothing. So basically I have no scoring jokers right now. I have something that's going to score later, but right now I don't have any scoring jokers. And so for that buffoon pack in the previous shop, the question is like, if I don't take it now, what are my chances of finding the thing that I need before the time that I actually need it, right? Like if I don't see anything now in this shop, what are the chances that I find it in the next shop before I need to score like 1,500 points? Because here, 1,000 points, I could do that with 2 flushes. 1,500 points, I can't do that with 2 flushes. And I'm not convinced that I can play 3 flushes. So it is risky to pass here, to pass on this Arcana pack, to pass on, you know, whatever stuff is in the shop. But I think we can survive it. If we need to, we can reroll in the next shop, but not right now. This orbital tag gives us 3 levels to straights. So here's like an interesting question. You know, would I rather have +3 levels to straights and start at level 4 straights? Like that's a pretty powerful start. Or would I rather have, you know, this for the end game, the ×2 to my flushes? Because a level 4 straight right now is going to be like 5 times as strong as my flushes, even with the ×2. And then even later on, you know, leveled up straights, you know, if we go to the collection here, twice as many chips compared to Jupiter, 50% more molt. So in total, straights are worth about 3 times as many points as a flush, right? So play 3 flushes versus play 1 straight. Even if I have the ×2 to all of my flushes, a ×2 flush is still less than just a regular straight. And then this is like even higher level straight, you know, with the orbital tag. So I think there is like strong consideration for doing this, for taking the orbital tag. But I'm going to try to build flushes anyway. I could just take $4 also, I get, if I sell this. Let's try to do flushes. There's a flush. About half of the points that we need. Let's go for another. We do need slightly higher cards. We played clubs already. Maybe let's go for hearts. We could play a full house, but we know it's not going to be the points that we want. Let's try again for hearts. Very high hearts. Very lucky. I accept. Okay, but I'm looking for, you know, some solid source of plus molt. Jupiter helps, but it's not really what I was looking for. With Jupiter, I think we can get 1,500 now with 2 flushes. The question is, should I buy these Arcana packs? And I think the answer is going to be no on these, and the reason for that is in the next shop, if I don't find some plus molt, I'm going to need to re-roll for it. So I want to save my money so that I can re-roll in the next shop if I need to re-roll in the next shop. We could take, here we could take the orbital tag here and we would have a pretty easy time getting 2,000 points. I'm going to stick with the flushes. All right, let's go for clubs, I guess. There's clubs. We got a mix, some high, some low clubs. Now, maybe hearts. Cool. We're only able to get away with this because we're playing on the red deck. If we weren't playing on the red deck, we would have a much harder time getting away with this. Not having the extra discard. Okay. Do I want something like this? So here's the thing. Onyx Agate is huge. I just put out a video yesterday about, the page 1 jokers. How, having the scoring on, or sorry, the plus molt on being scored is like way more powerful than getting this plus 10 molt after, being scored, your cards. And so like, all of the sinful jokers are very powerful. Onyx Agate is like that, but it's like supercharged, right? Of these 3, or of these 4 here, what I call the gem jokers, I think Onyx Agate is the most powerful one. This is exactly the thing that we're looking for. The question is like, am I willing to pay the rental fee for something like this? The answer is absolutely yes. It's so powerful. As a perishable is fine also. We can replace it with something else later. Now, do I want to buy these booster packs? Do I want an eternal hallucination? If I were playing straights, the thing that I prioritize for straights are going to be value generators, money generators, deck manipulation, so that I can make it easier for me to play my straights. Because you get so much from Saturn cards leveling up your straights, you don't need as many jokers giving you scoring. You have enough scoring base. But if I'm playing flushes, the scaling is really slow. The scaling is really low. Really what you should be doing with flushes is you should be trying to transition into something else, some other kind of flush variant. You can play flushes for a while. If you try to take flushes all the way to the end, it's not impossible. You're just going to have a hard time, right? The scoring requirements here, if we go to the blinds, on white stake, it's 50,000 and then 100,000 for the boss. On green stake, it's 100,000 and then 200,000 boss. On purple stake and higher, so on the gold stake, it's 200,000, the boss is 400,000. If you get the purple one, that's 1.2 million that you need. And it's really hard to get there with just flushes. It's not impossible, it's just difficult. And like flushes, that's the easy one. It's easier to play flushes. It's easier to play flushes than it is to play 2-pair. Once you get to the end game, once you have like tarot cards manipulating your deck, giving you suit changes, making it easier for you to play flushes. Like flushes are easy to play. And because they're easy to play, they're not going to be worth very many points. That's the trade-off, right? You play the easy hand, you don't get very many points for it. Straights, you play the more difficult hand, you get more points for it. And so what you should be trying to do, should be trying to go for straight flushes are worth a lot of points. Flush houses are worth a lot of points. Maybe flush 5 is probably too difficult, but flush houses are pretty easy, pretty reasonable to play. And so maybe what I want is something like this that can help me enable my flush houses. Or what I was going to say is, if I am going for just flushes, I need the joker slots. I need the X-Molt jokers in order to make flushes strong enough without having to transition into something else. If I really want to commit to just flushes, I got to do that. So I think with this eternal hallucination, I don't want eternal. I want to be able to sell it later for some scoring jokers. So I'm going to pass on hallucination here. Otherwise, I would pick it up. If I were playing straights, I would take an eternal hallucination. I think we still take the Arcana packs though. So if we are playing flushes, Celestial packs are less valuable. Arcana packs are more valuable. Arcana packs that are going to give us card enhancements and also suit changing cards. So like, would I rather have, I can make a wild card, makes it easier for me to get flushes, easier for me to get clubs. I could make a steel card. this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to make a steal card here. And so, you know, this long rant I said about, you know, it being difficult to score enough points in the end game when you're playing flushes. Steel cards and glass cards are how you do it, right? So Lovers giving me a wild card, that's not going to make it that much easier for me to make flushes. Like, it makes it a little bit easier, but it's not going to make it that much easier. Whereas like having a steal card, if I score more points per flush, I don't have to play as many flushes. That's kind of the idea. So I am going to make a steal card. The question is like, what card do I want to make steal? And since I have the agate that's going to reward me for playing clubs, I'm going to put the steal on the clubs. And the advice that I always give is steel and gold cards, put it on the card that you want to not discard. Put it on the card that you like having in your hand. Because if you have a dead card in your hand, you're basically playing with -1 hand size. And that sucks. And that's hard. That's difficult. Now, do I want this Arcana pack? Costs $6. Also going to cost me $1 of interest. I'm going to go down to $22. So this is a $7 Arcana pack. I think it's worth $7. Something else to consider here, after we beat the boss, the next shop is going to have a voucher. The next shop is going to have jokers. I need jokers. And so in the next shop, I could reasonably spend like $15 in the next shop. Even though I only get like $8 from the next round, I could want to spend $10. And so going below interest here means I'm very likely to go below interest in the next shop as well. Of course, we get rewarded here. We get the $20 from the Hermit, and then now it's not a problem at all. Now, do I want to re-roll here? I don't think I need to, and if I don't need to, I'm not going to. We can re-roll in the next shop if we need to. Let's go for our clubs. Right, so here I'm discarding looking for clubs. If this were diamonds, this would be really bad. But because this is clubs, I can hold on to this steel card, and then I can just play it. If this were diamonds, then we wouldn't have a flush here, but because I put the steel card on clubs, then it's good. That's 6,000 points. So I know, you know, I can score the next 2 rounds. I can score 6,000 points for the boss here. I can probably hit 6,000 points. De-leveling my poker hand, that's pretty stinky, to be honest. So I might want to be thinking about that. All right, now we have money. Now we have plenty of money, so we can just buy whatever. This agate is perishable. Maybe if I'm playing clubs anyway, maybe I pick up the glutinous joker here for an extra +3. I can pick up magician to help me score, you know, just generally picking up as many enhanced cards as I can, you know, possibly giving me money as well. On average, $1 per card. I think I want Celestial Pack since I can afford it. I'm looking for flushes. If I can't get flushes, what else might I be interested in playing? So like, of these hands, which are the most likely to contain the most clubs? And Mars, if I play 4 of a kind, not likely to have a lot of clubs. Earth, if I play a full house, it could have up to 2 clubs. A straight could have 2 or 3 clubs, maybe. Maybe I take the straight here. Also, that gives me a backup. If I do find a couple of Saturn cards in the future, I can play straights instead of flushes. I'm not necessarily attached to this ×2 here. Do I want this standard pack? I think, you know, the standard pack has a pretty good chance of giving me seals, which are going to be very powerful. And since we have the money, generally what I suggest is buy booster packs before you reroll, and that includes standard packs. So here we have a red seal. It's not clubs, but it is lucky and it is a red seal. I could turn this into clubs. It's not going to be very easy to turn this into clubs, but that's a thing that I can do. I don't have any like tarot card generating jokers that might help me with that. I could just pick up a 7 here as just another club, but you know, I do have my agate and my glutinous joker. These are both perishables, so I don't have to play clubs forever. I'm just playing clubs for now. I think we do take the red seal. That red seal could become a red glass card. That could become a red steel card in the future. Red seals just in general are going to be very good if you're playing flushes specifically. Now do I want to reroll? I think we definitely have enough to score, so maybe I don't have to reroll then. Do I want this voucher for the extra planet cards? So like, let's say I pick this up and I get the extra Jupiter cards on the shop. The Jupiter cards aren't actually that helpful. So it's just like with, you know, Pluto cards, just like for high card. Even if you do get the planet that you do want, it's not that helpful. It's not that impactful. So I don't think I want this. What I actually want are just more jokers in the shop so that I can see enough jokers. If I see more jokers, it'll be easier for me to find good jokers if I just see more jokers in general. And then also more tarot cards in the shop. All right, here we can take a skip for, again, here $10. I get, you know, like $8 from interest and then also extra hands. I lose $3 from the agate here, so it's a net $5. But being able to see the shop, being able to see more booster packs is worth like $5 to $10 worth of value on its own. So we're just gonna play it out. I could also potentially get some money from my lucky cards. Let's go for those clubs. And I think I will go for lucky clubs. The question is like, do I want... I'm going to go for aces and sevens. My reasoning there, I want to avoid the face cards because there's bosses that mess with your face cards, you know, disabling your face cards. So I'm going to put on non-face cards. So even without the tribe here, we do have a ×2. We have 3 more rounds remaining on the Onyx Agate, so we have enough to beat the boss here. Fool gives me a magician, is not exactly what I'm looking for. What I could be thinking about is, you know, here with the strength card, if I wanted to make flush houses, this is a way that you make flush houses, is giving you duplicates. So like I could turn an 8 into a 9, I could turn some other spade into a duplicate and I can play a flush house. And that could be my end game. So like early game we're playing flushes because they're easy. Late game we play flush houses because they score more points. I think what I want to do is that we're going to go Arcana pack first, Fool after. Let's do that. Let's buy both of these, might as well buy them. I'm going to buy them anyway, so I might as well buy them now. Let's go Arcana pack first. Aha, we get the classic Hermit, and then Fool gives us another, you know, just 40 bucks here. Probably we just take 40 bucks, though there is some consideration for, do we want to make more clubs? Would I rather have 40 bucks, or would I rather just make more clubs and then use the Fool to make even more clubs? Use the strength card to make even more duplicates? I can go 9s here. I can get this moon with the Fool card to turn this other 9 into clubs. I can then play my flush houses like pretty consistently, pretty easily. On this boss here, I can play a flush house instead of a flush and it won't be de-leveled, instead of picking up 40 bucks here. I'm gonna do it. I could also take this Judgment here. Judgment will give me a Joker that doesn't have any stickers, so it won't be perishable, it won't be rental. I think $20 is worth more than that. $20, you just reroll the shop 3 times and you'll find a Joker. You don't need to use Judgment. Having the money to reroll in the shop, you also get more tarot cards. So maybe I could find another moon in the future. But I think moon is powerful enough. So we have a lucky 7. So, you know, we can go 9s and 7s here. Do I want to use the strength card? I think I'm not going to use the strength card yet. I said we don't have to play clubs forever, but we might. I'm not going to buy the standard pack so we could save our money for interest. Let's go next. So we know a flush wins. I'm going to try to play a flush house. So I think what I want to do, I want to turn this 9. I want to turn my 9s into clubs and maybe 7s. 9s and 7s. Possibly also 2s. 9s and 7s and 2s. So here I've got a 2 in hand. Let's dig. Don't have 7s yet. We have a 6 that can turn into a 7. We have a 9 here. So let's look for either a 6 or a 7. We have 8s. 8s that can turn into 9s. If I wanted to play a flush 5, I could. I don't think I want to, but I could. I think what I want to do, 8 and 6, I will turn. I'm just going to play a regular flush. Oh, I guess we just get the flush house. I want to save the moon card for the boss, so I can make sure that I get the flush house versus the boss. Also, I want to draw that 9, my fancy 9. Yeah, that seems like a solid plan. Juggler for the extra hand size, but it's a rental juggler. Is the extra hand size worth $3 every round? So let's say I have the extra hand size. Let's say I have a gold card that gives me $3 per round. You know, is it worth it? I think it's not worth it. Even as a negative, even though it's not taking up a joker slot, I don't think it's worth the rental for the extra hand size. If the rental fee were $2 per round, I think it would be worth it, but $3 per round is too expensive for me. Do I want Todd here? I think Todd, since it's a common here, Eternal, I think this is not something that we need. I do acknowledge that our agate is expiring and our glutinous joker is also perishing soon, but I think we don't need this. Let's open the celestial pack. Maybe we don't open the celestial pack because the boss is going to de-level us. Jupiter I will take, but the boss I need to play a flush house, not a flush. I could play a straight that has just, you know, a couple of clubs in it. I could play a straight flush. We'll keep those things in mind. I'm not going to buy the standard pack. If I go down to $24, we lose $1 of interest. Even if this were only like $4, if this was a regular standard pack and not a jumbo, if I go down to $26, I want to save my money for the next shop. The next shop's going to have a voucher and jokers that I need to spend money on. So let's save our money, not just for interest, but save extra money so that we can buy stuff in the next shop. I'm looking for now, I have 9s and 7s for my flush house. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to dig. There are 9s and a 7. 9s and an 8 here. If I want to, I could hit the kings and the 9 here, and I could make a flush house kings and 9s, and we could just be done with it. Or I can dig. I think I want to dig here. It's going to cost me a few dollars, but I think it's worth the money. I think it's worth the money to have specific clubs rather than just like any clubs. Okay, so we do get the 7s here. I'll use the moon now. I'll make an 8 is fine, and I can make a 7, or I make a 6 is also fine. Do I want to try one more time? Trying to get more 9s or 7s for me to use the moon on? I think this is fine. So 9s and then 7s, there's my flush house. I don't have to worry about it getting de-leveled. And then that's it. I could get a juggler here, holographic, and then also plus hand size. That's great to hear. We could go celestial pack. Take series here. All right, we're off to a great start. We have 5 9s and only the 3 7s. So I think for the next round, for the next one round, I think we're gonna play just a regular flush rather than try to go for the flush house. Save our money for interest. This tarot merchant extra tarot cards in the shop, if I am playing flushes, if I am playing flush houses, this is actually pretty useful. Getting the extra tarot cards for the deck manipulation and the extra enhanced cards if I'm playing flushes. So maybe I'll think about saving money for that voucher. I think we don't take the rare joker here. Plenty of powerful rare jokers. There's just like plenty of jokers that are not compatible with what we're doing. So I don't think it's worth it to take the skip here. What I want is I want to see more shops so that I can see more Arcana packs. Not every pack is going to be an Arcana pack, but if I see more shops, I'm going to see more Arcana packs on average. Boss says face cards are debuffed. That's not going to be an issue for us. As long as I find some Joker replacements for Glutinous and then also Onyx Agate. Let's go for a regular flush here. There are my 9s. Do I want to go for my lucky cards? Sure, why not? I guess we can keep the 7. Alright, show me some lucky cards. I guess we'll play the flush house. Not that we have to, but if you got it, might as well. Okay, agate is out. There, probably we should have sold the agate. So knowing that I didn't need the agate, if I play the flush house, I already have enough points, I don't need the agate. Then, we paid $3 rental fee for nothing, basically. That was a misplay. It's not a huge misplay, but it's a misplay, honestly. Alright, do I want Todd as an Eternal here? If we play a flush house, we're fine. If we play a regular flush, we're probably going to have a tough time. If I am playing 9s and 7s here, maybe then Todd is... Definitely right now it's worth it. Even though it's Eternal here, even though that feels a little bit bad, I think because I don't have anything else going on, I got to do it. So let's save the rest of our money for interest. So we could just play an odd flush, or we can go for the flush house. And then we lose the Glutinous Joker. Here for this common Joker, I'm going to sell it. There's a chance that we get another one. Not a great chance, there's like 60 commons or whatever, but there's a chance. Do I want this Astronomer giving me free series, free Celestial pack here? I think as an Eternal here, if we are going for flushes, then I'm going to need my Joker slots for scoring, so maybe I can't afford this, money generator Joker slot as an Eternal. So I'm going to pass on the Astronomer here. I will take the opportunity to keep leveling up my flush houses. Now level 4 flush houses. So as long as we get the flush house, we're good. Pretty powerful. How consistently can I hit the flush house? Not very consistently, to be honest. Let's try the Mega Spectral. Immolate is huge. Let's start there. Next, we've got... I could make a Polychrome Joker. I guess I can't, right? So add Polychrome to a random Joker. If it hits Todd, I lose the tribe, and then we're pretty sad. If it hits the tribe, then it doesn't hit Todd, because Todd is indestructible. So I think we don't do Hex. I don't feel great about adding aces to the deck, random aces. I don't want to have a negative Joker. I don't want to have the -1 hand size. If I am going for flush houses are like difficult enough to draw. I don't want to have the -1 hand size, so I'm actually just going to skip here. We got what we need. We got Immolate, which is like the most powerful one. Just removing 5 cards from the deck, any 5 cards from the deck, even though we lost the 5 of clubs, it's going to make it easier for us to find our flush houses. And now with 48 cards, I feel more confident I can get the flush house. I do want this. I do want the Tarot Merchant. I know I don't have any Jokers yet, but I do want the Tarot Merchant if I am going to play flush houses. We could take some lucky cards. We could get gratification. I don't think we want this as a rental. I'm gonna reroll one more time. Hermit is actually just huge. Lovers helps. So now I'm willing to do lovers. Now I'm willing to, you know, maybe just turn any 7 into wild. Now I don't need to reroll if I don't want to. I could probably get my flush house. So we spent $5 and $6 on rerolls. Rather than reroll for $7 here, I can reroll in the next shop for $5 again. Let's just go next. Face cards debuff, not going to be a problem. Let's start by discarding 6s and 4s here. I can, if I need a pair, I can turn the 3 into wild. Okay, we got the 9s here. I think we still discard the 3s and we go for the 7. Okay, we have the 9s here. We're just looking for a 7, any 7. Extra 9s. We have 2 5s. I'm gonna throw away 1 9, looking for any 7. We have an 8 here. Uncomfortable. There we go. We get the natural flush house here. I'm gonna make the 9s lucky. I could go ahead, I could make the wild 7 now, or I could hold on to the wild card. I am just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it now. And then ship it. So here you could probably win if you play 3 flushes. I don't want to play 3 flushes. I'm just gonna play the 1 flush house. We could pick up the Baron here. Not really compatible with what we're doing. A little bit too late for the Baron, so I think I'm just going to pass on the Baron. Let's take clearance sale. Let's get a Judgment for Golden Joker is huge. Love to see that. We could take an orbital tag for full houses. Here, economy tag. We could skip for 40 bucks here in the future. I think I don't want to do that. Like I said, you get plenty of value from just like seeing the shop, from just like seeing more booster packs. And then also, you know, if I do skip here, skipping to this boss, 100,000, you know, I don't know if I have 100,000 yet. So let's open these standard packs. All right, standard pack. I'm looking for clubs. I'm looking for 7s and 9s. These are not it, so we just skip. Try again. We could get another red seal. 10 turns into jacks, turns into queens is not really the direction that I want to go with this red seal. Extra king, I don't think we need either, so let's skip again here. Now that we're down to 48 cards, I want to try to keep it low. Let's not reroll here. We have plenty of material to win the next round. We just need to find these 9s and look for our 7s. Not those 7s, but 7s nonetheless. Play these 9s. Okay, so here's the flush house. Okay, the next round is 37,000, so we don't yet have enough to get 37,000. I'm looking for a little bit more technology here. More lucky cards are kind of okay. Alright, I want to buy both of these booster packs, but both of these booster packs can cost me $7. Jolly Joker gives me +8 if I want it. If I'm playing a flush house, I'm going to get +8. But I guess, you know, already 26 molt on the flush house, we don't really need that. What I want to do, reroll first. If I get tarot cards, I can use them in this Arcana pack. I can get chips from Crafty Joker. It's not great because I'm already getting 150 from Todd. I'm already getting, you know, with Flush House, if I play a, you know, the 5 odd cards, I have 400 chips, and so another 80 on top of 400 chips. This is only plus 20% more chips, right? This is times 1.2 is what this does, and so I don't need that. Though it's only $3, so I could buy it for $3. If I don't use it, I could just sell it, and then it only cost me overall $2. So like, that's fine. You know, we're scoring 33,000. 20% more than 33,000 is 37,000. So maybe this is enough already. I want to, if I buy both these, I go down to $7, or I spend 7, I go down to 44. So let's re-roll again. Do I want Chad? So Chad, one thing that it does is it re-triggers Todd. And if I play a 9 that has plus 31, that's 40 chips, right? So an additional 2, that's another 80 chips. So that's already equal to Crafty Joker. But then also I could re-trigger my lucky cards and try to get the money. Or the molt would be good, but I could try to get the money. I think we want to do that. Do I want to pick up Faceless Joker for even more money? I think we don't do this. I think we don't need this. I think I like having the extra hand size. I think holographic is fine, but mostly I like having the extra hand size. All right, $7 takes me down to 36, so I can afford one more reroll if I want. Fortune Teller for plus 11, we don't need anymore. Faceless Joker Eternal, we don't need anymore. Let's open the Celestial Pack. Series, great. I opened the Celestial Pack first because now if I open the Arcana Pack, I have a 25% chance of getting a Fool-ish. It's about 1 in 4. If I get the Fool card, I can copy Series, is huge. If I don't, I could think about $9 or more clubs or card removal, or I can make this 9 into a bonus card for me to re-trigger with the Chad. I think I prioritize above all else, rather than making more clubs to make a flush house, I'd rather just go for the card removal, rather take the Hangman here. So I'm going to remove the 10s actually. Remove the 10s. You know, since I'm going for 9s, 10s turn into jacks, 8s turns into 9s. So let's remove the 10s. Now 46 cards in the deck. Pretty consistent. I can almost guarantee that I get my flush house. If we skip to the boss here, I think the boss is currently 2 flush houses. I don't know if I could do 2 flush houses. So what I'm looking for now is a steel card or a glass card. Some additional scoring in this shop. Otherwise, I'm going to have a tough time on this boss. I don't think we can afford to skip. That's the thing about, you know, taking the $40 here or whatever, or taking $30, even if it's $40, you don't get to spend it until after you win the next round, right? You don't get to take it with you if you lose. All right, I'm going to discard this 9. I'm looking for my other 9s. Maybe I'll do this. Discard, looking for my other 9s. I could discard. What are the chances that I draw 3 9s? Probably not very good chances, right? So maybe what I'll do is I'll play the lucky card with the Chad here, try to get the money. Okay, now let's discard. Looking for that. Now just 2 9s out of my 4 9s. The odds are okay. Yeah, I guess we could get the 7 as well. We could make even more lucky cards. Now we better get the money. Ah, never lucky. So there, that's my best hand. That's 5 lucky cards with the steel card is 70,000. Death card helps. Okay, this is $7, takes me down to 37. Let's reroll looking for another tarot card. Wrathful Joker, Splash, that's not what I wanted. Let's go Spectral Pack. Okay, so we can go Immolate again. So like, let's say we lose both of these 9s, then we have 4 9s left over, but we only have, 41 cards left in the deck. We could use death to make an extra steel card if we lose the steel card. Let's do it. Gives us money, that's great, but mostly I value consistency, deck consistency over anything else. That means I can re-roll before opening this Arcana pack, looking for more tarot cards. I could make a gold card. That's not my top priority right now, making a gold card. I'm looking for, I mean, I'll take it, but I'm looking for like a glass card. I bought it for $2, I can sell it for $1 because we have the voucher. Hangman is even better. Do I want to do it now? Or do I wait on the Hangman? Because I could buy it later. Let's go ahead and open the Arcana pack now. Okay, so here are some things that are on my brain. I want to use this death card to probably make another steel card. Honestly, probably make another steel. If I have to hit 100,000 right now, I don't yet have that technology. So hitting the extra steel card is going to help with that. I think that's what I want to do with the death card. With the gold card, you know, maybe I hit this 7 of spades. If I draw the 7 of spades, I'm probably going to discard it rather than try to play a flush. But in the future, I could turn it into clubs. All right. I want this Emperor. If I use the Emperor, I don't get to hold on to the Death card. If I don't hold on to the Death card, are we going to survive? Maybe instead of playing a flush house, I play just a regular flush. Like, that feels really bad. I don't know if we can do that. I think I have to hold on to the Death card here for the Steel card, so I'm just going to open the Emperor and take 1 tarot card. Hermit is, you know, as far as tarot cards go, that's a great one. So now it feels bad having this Hangman because if I re-roll for, you know, some other kind of tarot card like a Chariot that I actually want, now I don't get to do both of these. Yeah. Oh well. We take the Steel. Because now what I can do with this combination, I can make, instead of making this 2, extra 2, which is pretty stinky, I can make an extra 7. Or an extra 9. I think I'm going to stop re-rolling here because if I start seeing more tarot cards, I'm just going to keep replacing them. So let's look for... I have 41 cards on the deck. Let's look for the good stuff. Let's hold on to these aces. Because I can play the aces. Okay, I do have the 9 here. I'm going to play the aces so that I can try to get the money. Nice. Okay, so I got 9s here, I got 7s. I need to discard. Alright, 12 cards left in the deck. Let's play this. 7 cards left in the deck. I get to see 5 of them. I'm trying to get my Steel card, but with this Death card, maybe I already have enough Steel. So, do we play this and try to get the 2? Try to get the Steel card? Sure. We get it. Cool. So actually we just have the natural 9s here. I can make a Steel card. I could use the Death card. Do I want to use the Death card? So let's see here. Let's say I play this flush house. Do I want to drop a 7 and turn it into a 9? Sure, why not? We only play 1 flush house per round. There we go, easy 300,000 points. If we had 1 less Steel card, it would be 200,000 points. If we had no steel cards, it would have been slightly under 100,000 points. And that's because we got the lucky proc, right? We got the plus 20 molt. So if we didn't get the plus 20 molt, then we would have needed at least one, maybe two steel cards. Okay, extra steel card is great, whether you're playing flushes or flush houses. We get the seed money here. We can go... Even though I picked up the seed money and I'm going to try to save $50 in the bank, I think Celestial Packs for series cards are very powerful, so it's very worth it. If we don't get a series card, it's sad, but I think it's still worth it to try. I think here, as like the next best thing to a flush house, I could play 4 of a kind rather than a full house. Standard pack, maybe. No repeat hand types. The boss here we can win with just the flush house, the one flush house. I think I don't take the standard pack. Let's save our money for interest. All right, all we got to do is dig. There's my 9s. This 7, because it's spades, I discard it. If it were clubs, I would hold on to it. 7 of clubs. These 9s, even though they're steel, because they're 9s, I hold on to them. I do need one of my 2 7s, so I guess we gotta play this. Let's try again for a 7. Okay, we do get the 7. If we didn't get the 7, we could, you know, throw away 5 cards here, and we would get to see 5 out of 7 cards. And so you only lose if your literal last 2 cards are both 7s, which is possible. Unfortunate, but possible. Chance of losing is never 0, or at least most of the time that it's not 0. All right. Can I get some lucky money? No, but we get a lot of plus 20s, so, you know, worth a lot of points there. All right, we're at that stage where we should consider, you know, do I want this Chad giving me the extra triggers, or do I want something like this? The extra hand size, that's going to make it very consistent for me to get my flush house. That's going to make it easier for me to hold multiple steel cards in hand. Maybe I can hold on to this gold 7 finally and get some money from that. Would I rather have Troubadour, or would I rather have, you know, Golden Joker instead? So between the two of these, Chad and Golden Joker, probably we sell the Chad. The Chad is also common, and so it could, if we sell it, it has a chance of coming back around. If we hold on to it, then we're not going to see it again until it perishes. I think I do want Troubadour. I think also if you're going for straights, where you only play 1 hand per round, Troubadour is good. Flush houses, you only play 1 hand per round, Troubadour is good. Let's go standard pack. Skip. Buying the standard packs just because I can afford it. I think for these red seals, if it's not a 7 or a 9, I'm just going to skip it and save my money for interest since we have the seed money. 90,000 we know that we can do. So let's dig. All right, so I have 9s, I have 7s, I have the money. Is there anything that I'm missing? Maybe I can make this red card into a red steel card. I'm gonna make a steel 9 here. And then just play these. We don't have the Chad anymore. Nice. Alright, Celestial pack, Arcana pack. I'm gonna do this. Pluto card cost me $1. I have a Perishable Astronomer. I'm just gonna roll. Alright, to-do list we don't want. Magician we probably don't want anymore. Steven we definitely don't want. I'm gonna roll again. Burnt Joker I might consider. So here I've got Pluto, Mars. I'm holding on to these planet cards so that when I open the Celestial pack, series. Yes. Okay, do I want to take 4 of a kind? In like it only cost me $2 to like hedge my bets, so might as well, just to be safe. Do I want Burnt Joker? By the way, you know, with the tribe says play a hand containing a flush, that means if you play a 4 of a kind that has like an extra card that's the same suit, you know, you don't get a flush 4 like you get a flush 5, you don't get a flush 4, but you do, it does count for the tribe. Do I want Burnt Joker? Burnt Joker, I could very quickly level up my flushes or something else. It is foil as well. I think we don't want this. If I was going for straights, it's pretty easy to discard a straight and then draw a second straight. If you're playing flushes, discard a flush, draw a second flush. If I'm playing flush houses, it's not going to happen. I don't have 2 flush houses. Let's just buy the Arcana pack. We lose a little bit of interest, but it's worth it for the Arcana pack. The Fool, unfortunately, I called it before. You know, we want to use the series card and then open the Arcana pack in case there's a Fool to copy it. Don't use the Mars card yet. Like, you still use the Mars card, you don't use it yet because you don't need it yet. Should have held on to the Mars card instead of using it right away. I was just doing that for demonstration purposes. Alright, this is sad. Do I want to use the Strength card? I want 6s to turn into 7s. I want 8s to turn into 9s. Maybe this 2 I can make useful by turning aces into 2s. Maybe I can turn a 5 into a 6 and then later it turns into a 7. I don't know. There's just like no great options. I could try to turn 2s into 3s though. I guess it's kind of the same. Let's go 5 and then king here. You know, if I make more aces, aces are odd cards for Todd. Save our money for interest and go next. Alright, no repeat hand types. We have the 7s already, we just need the 9s. We have the 9s, now we're looking for the steel cards. If I want to hit 120,000, I think I do need the steel cards. I believe we did pick up an extra series card. I have 2 steel cards in the deck, we might as well go for it. Let's try again here. So with the Troubadour, we get to see more of the deck. We get to hold on to more of our cards, but we don't get all of our cards. Now we get to hold on to more cards at one time, but having one less hand also means we get to draw fewer cards total. And so previously we had 2 cards left in the deck, now we have 5 cards left in the deck. And then now we don't get our steel cards or our 9s. Like, that's pretty bad. That's pretty, we're in a vulnerable spot here. Yeah. Bummer. Needed the steel cards. Didn't draw. That's gonna happen. I think there, you know, if you don't have the Troubadour, not having the +2 hand size, well, having the extra hand per round, of course, you're going to dig better, you know, to find what you're looking for, and you only have 2 cards left in the deck instead of having 5 cards left in the deck. I think the end issue there is you can't hold as many cards in hand, and so maybe if you get your steel cards, you can't hold on to all of them. Maybe. Yeah. I think another option is if I know that I'm like not scoring enough, like if I know that like my baseline flush house is only like 60,000 without the steel cards, then I could re-roll in the shop for tarot cards, you know, re-roll for glass cards. That's another option. Anyway, we were doing pretty well. I think here we didn't necessarily play too greedy with this last hand. There are things that we could have done to, like, you know, help us. And I think one of them was, you know, maybe not doing the troubadour, because the extra hand, you know, did help us dig deeper. And I think another way we could have, like, played safer would be, like I said, re-rolling in the shop for more tarot cards, looking for a glass card. Either way, that's going to be it for this one. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but sort of like, that doesn't necessarily mean that we made any wrong decisions, or that doesn't necessarily mean that we did a whole lot wrong. We definitely did very well up until this point, you know, just not drawing the cards that we needed. And that's going to happen. All right, so that's going to be it for this one. Take care, everyone.